We are. Zay, if I were to ask you who's the best player in the world right now, who would you say?
The best player in the world right now. Um, I'm gonna say something odd. I'm gonna go with Steph Curry because he just won a championship and he's still dominant. So I'm gonna go in the world right now, Steph Curry.
That's not, and that's arguable. That makes sense. That's believable. But according to Giannis, that's LeBron James. So this is his quote. It's interesting to me how LeBron is still one of the best shapes of his life, and being the best player in the world is still being in year 18. Like, that's really interesting. I want to know how he does that. He's been consistent for 18 years. He's always there. He's always showing up. That's unbelievable. He obviously gets credit, but I think we got to give him more credit. Doing it for 18 years, that's hard. And hopefully, I can be there. Hopefully, I can do this for 18, 20 years. That's the goal. Giannis said LeBron is still the best. LeBron is still the best player in the world. When arguably, and no matter what debate you have right now, most people will probably say Giannis, Jokic, like you said, Steph Curry, Joel Embiid, especially after his monster performance, Luka, even KD.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a lot of people would agree that it's LeBron James. I believe that, yeah, it's amazing how consistent he's been and that he's playing this well in year 20.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. He's been consistent, and to be fair, LeBron did average like over 30 points last season. He averaged over 30. He averaged like 8 rebounds and 6 assists. He was still putting up elite numbers. But Zay, watching these Lakers games, LeBron doesn't have that same impact like he used to. To be the face in the NBA, you got to have impact on the game. Some sort of impact.
Yeah.
Now, players have bad games every now and then. Yeah, that's true. But in this sample size of the Lakers seasons we have so far, LeBron has not had that impact that we're used to seeing. Even going back to last year, the impact on winning is not there as much. It's kind of hard to explain because people can look at stats and like, oh, he put up this much and this much, but if you watch the game, the actual impact is tough. It's like, it's a little bit of football analogy. So last season, for the Dallas Cowboys, there's Dak Prescott, who was a quarterback. The Dallas Cowboys were trailing in a lot of the games, but Dak Prescott put amazing stats because on these comeback drives, he'll put up these amazing number of yards and touchdowns, but the team would still lose.
Mm-hmm.
But his stats look amazing. Similar here. Similar thing here. Yeah, it can be hard to explain, but I promise you, it's not the same. This is not the same.
I get what you're saying. It and bringing it back, like I get what you're saying about the Dak Prescott thing. I don't watch football, but you know I am. But I take it like this: LeBron averaged over 30 this last season, and it's like, oh, LeBron averaged 30. They must be winning. They must be making a run for the championship. And it was like, nope, they're not even in the playoffs. That's odd for a LeBron 30 plus points per game. That's unheard of before recent times. And it makes me think about, in basketball terms, how Carmelo was for a long time. Carmelo was leading the league in scoring like 4 years in a row, and whether it was with the Nuggets or the Knicks, we knew they weren't going far, and it's now the same thing. And I'm not even like comparing the teams, but like right now, obviously, this team isn't it. Even with Russell Westbrook playing better and everything else, this team just isn't it. And while LeBron's impact in the past has been like, all right, he's been able to carry a team, like even like his last few Cavs teams that he drugged, by their heels to the finals. He's getting older, and I feel like for the first time in forever, we've seen him be semi-human because he's about to be he's about to enter year 20. And he still is like great. He's still, to me, if you don't have a LeBron in top 5, you're not. I don't know. You have to consider LeBron top 5 at the very least. And he's not the same superhuman that he was before because he's just getting older. I think it just comes. Father Time is catching up, and I think he's gonna play great basketball. He's going to have his stats. He's going to pass Kareem. But he's not going to be able to just do it on his own anymore. It comes down to, all right, I can give you my 25 and 8 and 7. But, all right, who else is going to put up 25 and 6 with me? Is it going to be AD? Is it going to be Russ? Is it going to be anybody? Because right now, if they can get that to turn around, because the Lakers actually played pretty well yesterday without him, it's too late. You're already putting yourself. You're second to the bottom in the conference. So I think that Giannis has a good point. I think that LeBron, to be where he is in this point in time, is unheard of. But I also get that he's not carrying this team the way he has in the past, and it's just because it's not that simple anymore for him to be able to take over the game. And the game is different. It's a lot of shooting, and they don't have any. No disrespect, but they barely have.
Technically, Russell's shooting better since he's coming off the bench.
Hey, I'm happy about Russ.
Like, not talking about from 3, shooting better. Like,
I'm
best shooter.
Yes.
Yes.
He's been their best shooter the past few games, and I'm absolutely loving that Russell Westbrook is playing better because I personally like Russell Westbrook. I don't know if I've ever like said that openly, but I like Russell a lot. Like, he's one of my favorite players to watch in the league. And I'm just happy to see him just hooping. Like, they aren't winning, but I'm like, all right, good. Stop blaming Russ. He missed a shot. All right, whatever. He missed a layup. He turned the ball over. It happens, guys. It happens a lot to a lot of people. But I'm glad it's like, all right, the monkey's off his back. He looks like he's back to himself. So I'm happy about that. But the Lakers still suck. LeBron is still going to be great. But I don't know. It's so much. Just a couple years ago, AD and LeBron were dominating, and now it's like AD is semi-absent.
And then he did have a good game against the Nets, though. He did,
and I'm happy about it. But I'm like, is that gonna continue?
It's like you gotta demand the ball sometimes, man. You just gotta demand it. Shaq would tell stories like, "I'm gonna sit in this paint and get a violation if I have to. You don't give me the ball." Like, I don't know. I hope it continues. I hope it's a step forward for AD because he's gotta be the top piece. We always said that. We said that since the beginning. We said that last year. AD has to be that player.
But it's also about not only AD being the best player, but the team has to be just find a level of consistency. Like if you can get AD doing what he did yesterday, if I see AD in the post, he was, especially against the Nets who are struggling right now with big men with interior defense. Like, give him the ball, post up, and I want AD to be in the post, not facing up. Get in the post. If you have the matchup, you have the height, you have the size, go down low. But also the guys around him. All right, once AD is getting like, all right, you got to help defense come over. All right, I got somebody on the wing. Or if you can't make the shot on the wing, be able to make a play. That's yeah, it's great to see him take the alpha role, but it's like at the same time, everybody just has to level up. It can't be this. It has to be like you got to meet here, like together, not like this. Because that's what's happened. That's why with LeBron. Like LeBron was great last year. He was averaging 30, but the rest of the team was like, all right,
It was an early MVP talks,
go
man.
check out in the first quarter, and
Yeah. Like he was in real early MVP talk, just based on what he was doing.
exactly.
Another argument could be this though: the league is just better,
The league is all
talent wise. Because we do go back to those days when he was with the Heat or with the Cavaliers. Teams just weren't as talented. We got a lot of talented teams in this league now. So, with more talent, more competition, it shows you who you are. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Although LeBron has slowed down a little bit, he's still putting up some good numbers. But, yeah, we both agree he's not the best player. You think